Hi, guys. Today, we called over to the United Kingdom to speak with our guest who's a master of Zhaobao Tai Chi. He's a true veteran of the art with over 20 years of practice under his belt. Sharing his Tai Chi with others is a true passion of his because by teaching, he gets to learn and practice. Responsible for the spread of Zhaobao Tai Chi in Great Britain, he can be seen daily without fail playing Tai Chi. Please welcome the man known as Master Kester Cheung. How are you today, sir?
Hi. Hi.
Good. It's good to see you, sir. Good to see you. It's been a while. We've actually tried to do this interview since June, I think, and now in September 8th. But they say we have a saying in Jamaica, it goes, later will always be greater. So there's no better time than right now.
So why we're always late.
All right, sir. So without fail, let's go ahead and start this interview off. Of course, the first question is always, how did you get started into martial arts?
Yeah, it's since a long time ago when I was a kid, about 12 years old. At that time in Hong Kong, the Kung Fu was so popular. Everywhere is the martial arts school. And also at that time, the martial art movie was also popular. So I get to learn several kinds of Kung Fu at that time. So finally, when I was grow up, and I also keep practicing. And after I enter into the middle age, my body physical force cannot afford the very hard physical force. Then I focus on Tai Chi. And until 20 years ago, I practicing and then I teaching.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So when you were a younger man, Master Kester, what kind of martial arts did you practice in Hong Kong? Like the popular ones like Chole Fat?
Yeah, Wing Chun.
Wing Chun.
Wing Chun and Mentis and Choi Li Fat. Choi Li Fat is the most popular, three of the most popular in Hong Kong. Three of all I practiced. And I like Wing Chun, and I keep until now. I have been practicing Wing Chun until now. But now I focus on Tai Chi, especially Zhaobao Tai Chi.
Zhaobao Tai Chi.
Yeah.
So, which leads me into the next question, Master Kester, right? What is Zhaobao Tai Chi?
Oh, Tai Chi is a common name. There are many different styles of Tai Chi. Usually, the Tai Chi is named as the master's surname. But Zhaobao is the name of a town, and one old master learned the Tai Chi from Wudang, and then he went to his hometown and started teaching. The people who asked him, "What are you teaching for?" He said, "Oh, just name it as Zhaobao Tai Chi because there is the Zhaobao village." So the name Zhaobao Tai Chi until now. And I tell you, there are many different styles of Tai Chi, but Zhaobao is the most traditional and history Tai Chi, historic. And it was the Tai Chi was developed since 100 years ago until now, developed into many different branches. The most common name are the Chen Tai Chi, Yang Tai Chi, Wu Tai Chi, so and so is named as the master's surname. But Zhaobao just use the place name as the place name. But finally, until now, developed into maybe many different styles.
Okay, and Zhaobao Tai Chi is very old.
Yeah, it is the most traditional Tai Chi.
So he described it
I remember
as it being the actual trunk, whereas the other Tai Chi forms are the branches.
I do apologize to everybody, for all my viewers. I forgot to introduce our other guest here, who is Flexy. Nice to meet you, sir. It's nice to meet you. Nice to have you. And he's a practitioner of Zhaobao Tai Chi, a student of Master Kester here. So you're saying again, sorry about that, Flexy?
I'm Master Kester's first student here in the UK. How we met is phenomenal. But one of the first things he described to me about Zhaobao Tai Chi is the same thing. There are many styles, but in terms of the tradition, Zhaobao Tai Chi is the actual branch, and the other ones are what stem from Tai Chi. So in terms of the original forms and the original way of movement, the original ways of breathing, the original ways of connecting is this form of Tai Chi. I love it.
You know, before our this is actually going back into June, before our first scheduled meeting, Master Kester. I had done a little bit of research into Zhaobao Tai Chi, and I had found out that the person who brought the Tai Chi to Zhaobao town was a man named Wang Zhongyu, right? And then after him, his student was Jiang Fa, and after Jiang Fa had he had taught somebody in Chen village. I think it was I think the fourth generation or fifth generation Chen style master who actually kind of mixed the two. So Zhaobao has a little bit of Chen flair, or Chen has a little bit of Zhaobao flair. One of them, I'm not too sure, but it's interesting how Zhaobao actually influenced Chen style. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, there's many different pattern, many different versions. Chen's grandmaster said, they said Xiang Fan is the servant of Chen family. But in Zhaobao, it says Chen is learned from Xiang Fan. So this is the no proof now, but actually Chen village is inside the Zhaobao town. It's very close. It's Jiang Fan is the first grandmaster of Zhaobao Tai Chi. He named the Tai Chi as Zhaobao Tai Chi. And then after that, after Chen Tai Chi come out, is the facts. But who learned from whom? There's no proof.
We have the saying, the chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
You still have it as well.
That's a really good saying. Which first, the chicken or the egg? That is true. That is true. No, another controversial. Well, it's not even really controversial. I would call it controversial because I can't really truly fully wrap my head around it. But I do know that there's a seventh generation Chen style master, Chen Ching, who was the teacher of Yang Lu Chan, right? It is said that, you know, if you weren't part of the Chen family, if you weren't part of Chen village, you couldn't learn Chen style, right? And Chen Ching would have been, who was also a supposedly a master of Zhaobao Tai Chi as well, right? He really couldn't teach Yang Gu Chan Chen boxing, right? So the controversy here is that I think is, why does Yang style look so much different from Chen style, right? So it could be that I'm thinking is it could be possible that Chen Ching taught Yang Lu Chan some Zhaobao Tai Chi. I'm supposing, am I reaching too far?
If according to the text, is have the Zhaobao, and then until a few generations develop into different style. Chen and Wu is maybe 100 years later. Is according to the people from which part of China they put some invented by themselves by the master and change some style, so develop until now with so many styles. But the principle is all the Tai Chi is Pang, Lui, Jai, On. If we are following this rule, there are several kinds of using the force. It's all come from the Pang, Lui, Jai, On. All follow this rule. But
The 13 postures.
the style is a little bit different. But indeed, the way is follow the same way.
Okay. So the style is different, but the principle all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's according to the every generation they change a little bit until now. But Zhaobao also in Zhaobao Tai Chi also with some several different style, also the same as the same Zhaobao, and especially the bigger form and smaller form. I'm learning from my master. He is a 13th generation. We are playing the big form, and still the small form of Zhaobao is also popular in China.
So is it north and south?
Yeah, all from north. Tai Chi is from north. Yeah.
that's absolutely awesome. So the Zhaobao Tai Chi is, as you know, we could coin a saying right now. We could, ready to give you the phrase. It's all Tai Chi, baby. Right?
It's all Tai Chi, baby.
Yeah. But
styles are different, but it's all Tai Chi.
The characteristic of Zhaobao Tai Chi is combined with combat skills and fitness philosophy. It helping to train both external and internal powers. It relaxing the chest and stretching the back, keep practitioner breathing normally and smoothly. When we practicing in slow motion, you can see we are moving our body, but in the meantime, we also practicing inside the vessel, the organs. So keep the breath and the blood circulation running normally. If your blood running normally, it means your heart and brain are healthy. This is the characteristic of Zhaobao.
Awesome. So is the combat theory, the yi, the martial intent, is still you're still teaching it through the Zhaobao Tai Chi? Reason why I do ask is because a lot of people here, I'd say about 90% of Western Tai Chi is for health. They've taken out the martial intent, and when everybody thinks of Tai Chi, they think of, the nice long clothes. We call them pajama costume, right? But it's of course Chinese traditional wear. But you think of that and you think of slow motion, right? But I'm reason why I ask is because I'm picking on what you said with martial intent. That's definitely clear that you still have it, and it's awesome that you still teach that. So my question now would go to Flexy, right, as being the first student of Master Kester, right? Is the martial intent there, right? Is in Zhaobao Tai Chi is the martial intent taught from day one? Like this is a punch, so think of it as a punch, or so, or
Well, yes, I feel like it depends on how far you want to go with it. 100%, like the way that I got from Master Kester, Tai Chi is all about patience. It's all about repetition and practice. It comes naturally. So imagine, you know the saying, fear the man that knows, that don't fear the man that knows 10,000 kicks, but fear the man that's done the same kick 10,000 times. When you're doing Tai Chi, your repetition, you're actually using these strikes and they become second nature. Now, I've been doing it for almost a couple of years now. And in terms of my flexibility, my reflexes, and now I actually feel so much more safer to defend myself merely because I've practiced these forms over and over and over and over again. So although we are getting the nice breathing techniques and all this, it's definitely not a dance and it's still a martial art, just because it's practiced and it's become second nature after a while. So you just got to keep on doing it. I know if I do it for 10 years, oh man, I already know. I already know the result of how fierce that I just feel stronger in general. If I haven't done Tai Chi for, let's just say, even a week, I start to feel like something is missing. I start to feel that I'm not as sharp, or I'm just not as in tune with my mind, body, and soul and what else is going on around it. But in terms of the martial arts, it's there. You just need to actually be patient and put in the time as well.
Oh, awesome. So, Master Kester, question, right? One more off the beaten path question, right? Is Zhaobao Tai Chi a practical martial art?
Practical? What's practical?
Meaning, can it be used for fighting? Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I tell you, Zhaobao Tai Chi can be well with other martial arts. Once you learn Zhaobao, use the method, it can be to enhance the skills that you have learned before, such as the other style of martial art. But once you practicing Zhaobao, you can well with the other martial art that you have learned before.
Can I add to that as well?
Of course,
just like anything that you learn, it doesn't have to be martial arts. It can be football, basketball, whatever. Whenever you learn something up until a mastery, you end up learning more about life, because you end up getting life lessons for mastering something. It's just the actual repetition of doing it. You can be a potter doing pottery and unlock the code of life. As long as you are patient and stick within that, it doesn't matter what it is. So Tai Chi, over time, I've been like, oh wow, that means I can actually do like this. Or if I strike someone like this, it's got my hip involved. Or you start to learn more than what is actually just on the paper.
Yeah.
You know, when you learn it over time. If you give yourself only like 3 months to 6 months to a year, yeah, you'll learn the surface level. But when you go past the first few years, you end up applying life lessons to it, and you end up being able to just, give advice and use it for yourself, like chess. Chess, great example, chess.
Yeah, in a normal idea, the people thinking is Tai Chi is good for the old age people, only practicing in the exercise in the park, but actually is no. The most traditional Tai Chi is combined with combat and health, good for your memories too.
To even to add to that, my teacher, right, Master Stephen Hua, we practice the Wu style, right? He says, right, Tai Chi, everything in Tai Chi must always have a dual purpose, right? One is for martial art purpose, and two is for health purpose. Right? So every single thing, even if I just move my hand like that, that's That could be considered a push, but it could also be considered, right, something for my health. And how is it? By incorporating the internal discipline while pushing my hand forward. That's how it's going to be helping with my health. Right. So I definitely understand you. I definitely get that. That's really cool. That's really cool. So Master Kester, let's go ahead and go into our third question, sir. Now we're going back to the right path, right? Now the third question is, what is the hardest part, in your opinion, of developing one's kung fu?
Yeah, hardest part is the first before you learn kung fu or tai chi or other kung fu, you must ask yourself to confirm the purpose of learning. Some people hoping to improve their health, and some people want to learn combat techniques, but some people want to learn today and use tomorrow. Is no, so you must step by step and be patiently to learn it intensive. Otherwise, you will give up in the halfway. Waste your time. Patience and constantly is the most important.
Yes.
All right. That's the
And of
hardest
course,
part.
you must find the right martial art style suitable for you. If you want to a bigger action, small action, then you must decide before you find a teacher. You find to choose the kind of the martial art.
I apologize, Master Kester. I know I said I wouldn't give you any more off the beaten path questions, but I have to ask this one. What do you think is the hardest part of developing Tai Chi to a high level?
What?
To a what?
To a high level.
To a high level. Yeah, I tell you, if you want to higher level, keep practicing the forms. When you familiar to the form, you can use it in the, we call push hand. Push hand is preparing for fighting, and if but somebody say no, I just want keep health. I don't want fighting, but it's actually not for fighting. You know, you can, if you practicing push hand and learn how to use what you have learned in the form. This is the examination to check what you have learned in the proper movements. If you can use in your combat technique, it means you practicing in the right movement and the right way. So combat and exercise and is combined together, is linked together. It doesn't mean teaching you to fight. To fight is to check what you have learned. Is it in the right way? And something action error, you must to correct it. Otherwise, you cannot use in the fighting movement, and also not too good for your internal exercise.
And on top of that, to answer that as well, I'm a great example of it. So with Tai Chi, I just feel like we keep on learning and learning and learning. Last year, was it last year? Maybe a year
2
before?
years.
I'm going to tell him about the.
He stayed up in the highest stage level because he keep practicing every time you play. Every time the form play the form. Every time you can find out something new that you have never known before, because you feel this movement. something telling is not too comfortable, but you can't understand where is the error. But after you keep practicing again and again, over and over, then you will find out something new every time.
So on top of like practicing with him, I practice by myself as well, merely because I really, really want to master the craft. And I've come so far in such a short space of time, because even though Tai Chi is slow, I slowed it down even more. So I would take like it's 108 moves, which he would explain to you, but I'll take like a small section and I'll just repeat that one small section. And each time I do it, I realize, okay, if I put my shoulder here like this, okay, now if I'm like this, okay, now this like this, it makes it more fluent and comfortable. And what I was going to say is last Chinese New Year, Kester, his wife, his son, myself, we all got in our Tai Chi again. We went to the center of Leicester where we lived. And his wife is really good. Have you seen the dragon thing that they got that go rounds? What's it called?
Yeah.
That dragon dance,
right? Like
yeah. His wife is amazing at it, and she was doing it whilst we were practicing and playing Tai Chi with each other. And then literally the next day, he came running to my house. He knocked on my door. I have to tell you something. I discovered something. Like, he was so excited. I've never seen him like this before. So I was like, okay, like, let me get ready. I'm coming down. So, come. So we did like a set. We started practicing. And what he realized is the movement that his wife was doing. If you look at the dragon, you have to, it's all within your body. Yeah. So it comes from the core and it's just an extension of your body, the dragon.
Yeah, that's the Tai Chi way.
Yeah. You're not trying to just whip the dragon. It's actually all a part of you. So he must have let that thought marinate in his head, and he realized, nah, this is just like Tai Chi. It actually, all the movements link into one. So it's not just one, it's not one and then stop. Every movement is part, it's all circles, it's all a cycle. And then when he said that, I didn't quite understand it, but I was doing it with him. It took me about 2.5 weeks of doing it by myself. Like, he said something, he understood something, that he's been doing Tai Chi for 20 years, but 20 years later, he's just discovered something really, really important to him. What is it? So that seed was planted in my head, and eventually I understood. And having that understanding allowed my whole center of gravity to change when I played Tai Chi. So he was always, one of the things he always told me was like, you're always like a tree trunk. So when you're doing movements, there's never a time that you need to be like this, because you're already off balance. So
never move your foundation.
Never move with that foundation. With that seed just kind of exploded. And I was like, wow. I felt like, you know, in the Matrix, when he wakes up, he's like, I know Kung Fu. I felt like that. And then I was like practicing. And I was like, okay, this is a new way. And then 6 months later, I then discovered a whole new way of like coordinating my breathing with the movements and in cycles. So that's me doing that. It will take me about 3 minutes, and then I'm completely in tune. I'm here, I'm present, I'm right now. When I first start off, I'm thinking, okay, I've got this person to text back. Okay, now I've got to pay this bill. Oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And then all of a sudden it's, you understand?
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
It's so beautiful, even just talking about it. Thank you. Tai Chi is truly a gift. I really feel like it's truly a gift. It's taught me composure, patience, all the stuff that I didn't have before as a man. I feel like I'm completely a mastered version of myself, and I understand that there's so much more to come as well, as long as I keep on practicing.
And he told me sometimes when he is difficult, he just go out to practicing one time and calm down himself. Yeah. And we solve the problem.
It's not easy. It's not easy. That's true. Like there's been times which you'll probably relate to, where something's like happened, you know, but you can only actually think of the one solution or the one problem, where you know that in an hour's time there's probably going to be, you'd be like, oh, I can do this, that, and the other. But right now, because the problem's so fresh, you can't think of anything else. I know I only have to do like 24 of the 108 movements on repeat to free my mind. It'll take a little while, but eventually it will free my mind. And then that's when the options start coming. So I use Tai Chi as a tool, not just to calm myself, but just to think of all the options.
Refresh your brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's a great way to use Tai Chi as well. Definitely a great way to use it. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's go into our next question, okay? So we're going to the fourth one. Master Kester, if you could teach new generation of martial artists only one thing, it could either be a technique or it could be a philosophy or it could be both. You choose. What would it be?
Yeah, technique and philosophy are two double combination. It's very hard to tell which one, but the two complements each other. You can learn technique first, and then to learn the philosophy. Once you get familiar with the form, then you can study the theory, more theory. That's my experience.
What advice would you give to like me, Tai Chi, or someone who's never done Tai Chi before? What advice would you give them?
That's patient and constantly, every day, keep practicing. Even you don't have time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, don't stop, just constantly. And finally, you will find out the advantage from Tai Chi. But never thinking express. There is no express Tai Chi in the world. Yeah.
You just have to go through it. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like having a map and actually going on the journey, right? When you have the map and you can see the way, it doesn't mean you've went. It just means that you know where to go, but you still have to go. So,
even you have the map, you have to pay some time to check the map to follow. You cannot just a quick look, then I understand all the map. Yeah.
You have to live it.
You have to pay attention. Yeah.
It's not Matrix. I wish it was.
I know come through that.
Exactly. All right. So we're going to go now into the hardest question of all of them. Okay, Master Kester. Actually, before we even get into that question, I just have to tell you, I like that answer. I do appreciate that answer, right? Because not many people, I've asked that question before, and not many people have answered it that way. That's a masterful way of answering that question. That technique and philosophy go hand in hand. You can't have one or the other. You have to have both at the same time. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Can
I give you a quick example before you go?
Go ahead.
There's one really, really good example that came to my mind. There was one day when I came downstairs and before we even started, he discovered something. Within slow movement, would you find real strength? So that applies to everything in life, but he was just doing it and he was like, yes, only within slow movement can you find true strength. And that's everything. So think if you're gonna like just do anything, if you want to actually like punch something, once you go slow, you actually know all the muscles that you're engaging. If you want to lift something, if you lift slow, you know everything that you're engaging. If you want to learn something, learn it slowly and you'll learn it stronger. Just in that whole sentence in one is the sort of thing that you get from Tai Chi. And he was just doing Tai Chi and he stopped and he realized, only within slow movement can you find true, real strength. And when I came down, I was like, yeah, I understand. So those are the type of techniques that you get from like the philosophy that comes with Tai Chi.
Great philosophy. Only through slow movement can you find true strength. All right. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. So now we're going to segue into our last question. How can you be contacted, Master Kester?
Easily, you can find me on Instagram.
His Instagram is at Tai Chi Kester. Or alternatively, you can find him on Achilles Lifestyle. So he's on both of them all the time. So it's Tai Chi Kester, and he's doing it every day. That's like his best point of contact. If you can't understand anything, you can also contact myself because we're always together at Achilles.
All right, and that's your Instagram, Achilles.
Yeah, Achilles Lifestyle.
You said? Okay.
Yes, Achilles Lifestyle. But that's where I promote all of Kester's stuff daily. I made his Instagram for him so he can reach out to other people. Because when he first came to Leicester and he was doing Tai Chi, he was just doing it by himself. And I just watching him, and Tai Chi is mesmerizing to watch. So I was just there like, wow. And then he came up to me, he's like, look, if you want to join in, you can come. And literally the next day I was there before him, 10 to 6 in the morning. And he was so shocked. He's like, I've said this to so many people, but no one ever comes. Like, and then,
it's more than I expect, because the young guy come to learn Tai Chi. I don't think he have the patience to learn long lasting.
Yeah. So I said to him, because of this, more people need to see what you're doing, because so many people can benefit from Tai Chi. Like, I've only ever seen it in the movies, and I didn't really understand what it was until now. So if you want to reach out to Kester, best way is Instagram, and that's at Tai Chi Kester. It's Kester.
Information for Master Kester and Flexy will be in the description below. Also in the description below will be a link for Fei Yu shoes. If you need Fei Yu shoes, go ahead and click the link in the description below for the best prices, the best deals, all at Fei Yu shoes. Master Kester, Flexy, thank you very much for the time that you've taken to speak with me today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for getting in contact. Really do appreciate your patience and listening to us and just taking everything on board. I really, really hope Tai Chi becomes a part of your life and you understand where I'm coming from.
100%. All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.